Hi, you might know me as Apostate Sister Patty, where I talk about high control religion here on YouTube with my sister Nancy. Before the channel, I was an activist artist here in my city of Portland, Oregon. So to collide my worlds a little bit, I have a collaborative invitation into activism for you. This is for anyone and everyone because we're in a time when all of us are needed. It is my bold assertion that hope or hopefulness can hold space for our fear. Looking around, it's easy to see that here we are in an encroaching Christian fascist state. It makes me grieve. It makes me angry. It makes me worried for my daughters, for LGBTQ rights, for those without the white-skinned privilege that fascism favors, for those shut out of the game of wealth. And it makes me utterly heartbroken for those who sought refuge here with us only to be misused, abused, and then violently cast aside. I've been wondering if other people like me have been silently screaming on the inside, wondering if they can do something, or if there's something they can say that will do something. Because it's just a fact that if more of us do something, more things will get done. And so that's what I'm trying to do. The Bigger Umbrella Handbook isn't a rule book. It's a creative starting point for making your civic duty personal, visual, and effective. It offers flexible ideas for speaking up, pushing back, and building connection. And the goal is to learn about what works and what doesn't, and to help each other along the way. If you're new here, let me tell you a little bit more about who I am. I've been a soap maker, a store planner, an interior designer, an activist artist, and a mama. But before all of that, I was a cult kid. I was told I wouldn't grow up. The Great Tribulation always loomed. But the cult also promised us the world tomorrow, a perfect world with no more suffering. So as a kid, I imagined and longed for humans living in harmony and actually treating our neighbor as ourselves. Once I accepted that no deity was forthcoming to magic up the world tomorrow, I found my higher power in our collective power. I mean, humans are building the world tomorrow one way or another. So I like to say that the leader of our cult, Herbert W. Armstrong, made me an activist. In my activism, the scariest thing I have done was to stand in the wall of moms in what felt like full battle gear outside the Justice Center in Portland after George Floyd was murdered. More recently, I've taken to the streets in a Handmaid's Tale costume, demanding that our city council revoke the building permit for ICE. But in the spirit of promoting what I love more than bashing what I hate, I have developed pop-up protests for climate organizations here in town, such as Extinction Rebellion, the Sierra Club, and Oregon Wild. The pop-up protests build a story told in sound, color, and action, inviting participants and viewers to imagine changing the narrative. The Bigger Umbrella Handbook invites you to take action. First and most critically, know this: your voice matters, no matter how you choose to speak. The biggest barrier to action is fear. Fear for our lives, fear of losing our privilege. That's why fascists foster it. They want us to believe all hope is lost. They divide us so we lose sight of the humanity of those with less than us. But when the world is better for more people, it's better for all of us. Activism doesn't just look like one thing. What are you good at? That's what's needed. Taking action builds hope, not just in you, but in those who see you. We change each other, and we don't have to move mountains with one shove to be effective. My dear friend and mentor Jerry Atkin notes that we are often aware of the fierce urgency of the now, but that we need the fierce urgency of the long haul. This is a time to build our resiliency and to chip away at the pillars that are propping up hate and hurt. But why umbrellas? The humble umbrella has some precedence in the world as a tool of resistance. In Hong Kong in 2014, ordinary people demanded a say in their governance and on police accountability. They used yellow umbrellas to make themselves visible and to protect each other. Did it work? Their umbrella movement did not achieve its immediate objective. but it did succeed in planting ideas and identities that still define Hong Kong's struggle for democracy. In Poland in 2016, the people gathered with their black umbrellas in defense of reproductive rights. They said, "My body, my choice, my dignity," and they prioritized presence over perfection. They showed up for weeks, rain or shine, and their visible collective effort worked. The abortion legislation was dropped. The umbrella is a shield, a signal, and a stage, and it can carry a message down the block and across the internet. I've created a printable copy of the Bigger Umbrella Handbook that you can access with this QR code. It'll take you to a Google Drive that not only has the printable booklet, but also the full handbook and some images and flyers to help get you started. There's also a submission form for your actions. If you were to do an umbrella action or a performance, you can send in information about it, what worked, what didn't, and photos. We'll get it into the folder so other people can use your ideas for inspiration and to grow the movement. To get started, you have to define your why. Why are you raising your voice or your umbrella? Are you advocating for something specific, raising awareness, or building a community group? Maybe you want to slow a harmful policy that your city council seems hell-bent on passing, or disrupt a Proud Boys event, or defend your immigrant neighbors who've been taken by ICE, or build a coalition of caring communities who support each other's actions. Or maybe just you and one umbrella stand somewhere visible so you can have your say because you felt silenced for so long. No matter where you're at, there are reasons and ways to engage. Every action, whether it's just you or you in a sea of thousands, is precious human resistance that says, "I'm not giving up," and that should scare the fascists. Let's get practical about it. You need a time and a place that will amplify your message. The location should be relevant to your message and connect to the people who most need to see it. Depending on what that is, the location might be a local park, ICE facilities, City Hall, a busy downtown plaza, or if you're feeling spicy, the mayor's house. Ask yourself, who else would want this too? And who has the power to make the changes we want? Get those eyeballs on you. Choose the timing of your action to lend it more visibility and power. That might mean during rush hour, on specific event anniversaries, during public meetings, or at community events. Remember, this isn't just a method of protest. It's a demonstration of your values and solidarity with others. To decorate your umbrellas and grow your community, throw a potluck party about a week before an event. There are lots of ways to make your umbrella speak. Use duct tape or gaffer's tape, or paint it with paint pens or acrylic fabric paint. If you're feeling really wild, you can make the entire top of your umbrella a new color by getting some upholstery paint. But most importantly, make sure your message can be seen. Use high contrast colors and make your letters as big as possible. A good guide is to recognize that for every inch of height you have in your letter, you'll get 10 feet of visibility. So the bigger, the better. Next, decide on your formation. There are some starter ideas in the handbook, such as the line banner, which is great for a specific message spelled out across umbrellas, or for creating a boundary, or a circle or half circle. This one's good for vigils or events that center around a speaker. A 2-row corridor. This one can help you protect vulnerable people or create an escape route. A mosaic. This one takes a little more planning, but it's very effectively viewed from a high window or from a drone and gives you great footage. A flow line. This one keeps you on sidewalks and crosswalks and is basically a parade that snakes its way past key points in the city. And if you want to design your own simple performance for you and a few friends, or get a whole community group together for a pop-up protest, a flash mob of sorts, the handbook has some tips to get you started. But not every act of visibility requires a march or a performance. If you're part of a group, try a literal bigger umbrella. If whatever group you're a part of wants to grow in numbers or provide more humanitarian care, and maybe even connect with other groups with shared interests, you can find local events and fairs that'll let you have a table. because all kinds of tangible care can happen under a patio umbrella. The umbrella itself can call out the values you stand for, and underneath it can be resources for each. This means focusing on mutual aid, humans helping humans where our systems have failed us. Because we must not abandon the vulnerable. People can only engage in society in a healthy way when their basic needs are met. So the work is supporting basic needs while working on longer-term solutions. This doesn't need to be some grandiose thing. Every bit of help and connection builds the bigger umbrella. And none of this needs to be built from scratch. There are so many groups with great ideas and who are already doing the work that you can join hands with. Some important things you can do at your mutual aid table are: have a supply station, stock your table with snacks, a phone charger, or hygiene kits. Have you ever thought about what unhoused women do on their periods? This is important stuff. You can map the gaps, find out what people need and what people can offer, and connect them. Make an effort to provide emergency food. This can look like garden sharing, little free food banks, or doing bulk purchases with a plan to share the abundance. You can hold Skillshare clinics, fix bikes, help write resumes, trade your know-how for free, build a buddy network, connect with people who need rides to the doctor or safe passage to and from the courthouse. This isn't convenient or comfortable, but no one said the revolution would be. A note on safety. Calling out injustice is not risk-free, but there are things you can do in any situation. Stick with a friend, stay aware of exits, and know your mating spot. This is a good idea whether you're on the bus, at a street fair, or attending a rally or protest. Carry the essentials with you: water, meds, and a first aid kit. Okay, when it comes to your phone, it's worth turning off the biometrics. That's the face recognition and your fingerprint, because law enforcement can compel you to use those, but not to enter in your password. Before any public gathering, especially an event you're planning, look up local rules on curfews, sidewalk use, and permits. This will help you know what's allowed and what would become civil disobedience. ACLU state pages and mutual aid toolkits can give you an easy start. In most public places, you're allowed to stand on sidewalks, speak, record, and hand out flyers. But what is civil disobedience? It's purposely making a public, nonviolent violation of a specific law or government order in order to protest and press for change, while accepting the legal consequences of your action. If you're heading into something pretty serious, add a legal observer to your group. Of course, not everybody's going to feel comfortable doing this, and you don't have to. I want to be very clear that the bigger umbrella is meant to connect people to action at all levels. That's the point of the bigger umbrella. There is room for everyone to show up, stand up, and connect to their fellow human. You are invited to participate. Your voice matters. All of us can make change. All of us can do something. Just one voice changes the story. Your umbrella is a shield, a signal, and a stage. A second voice doubles the volume. Connection is made, and you're not alone. As community builds, a chorus of voices join together. You build a canopy of hopefulness, tangible resources, and the change that makes more well-being for more beings. Humanity is one family. It's time to act like it. So I invite you to build the bigger umbrella.